welcome everybody. And Mr. Allen, I so appreciate you being here on the call. And I was trying to figure out and extract from you to share with everybody kind of like some of the things that I know about you, sir. I begin to think about that where my background has this very, very narrow tunnel, this focus that is only been in the network marketing industry for some 23 years now. You, on the other hand, have made millions in several different industries, and so that's one of the things that that I want to extract out for everybody in how you went about your process. How did you evaluate this company? And so kind of like just to get this thing started, what caused your initial interest in RX?
Thank you, Tim. You're right. I've been fortunate enough over my career to have made several fortunes in several different arenas, and the principles are pretty much the same. The systems might be different. The specific techniques and strategies for making money in real estate versus making money on the internet versus making money marketing information and books and publishing and speaking versus making money in network marketing. They're all pretty much the same. And they really, it boils down to one key fundamental, and that's opportunity. And so how do you recognize an opportunity when it comes about? How do I recognize an opportunity in real estate? How do I realize that's a great deal versus other thousands of other deals over there? How do I recognize a great, internet option possibility? How do I recognize a great book title? It's all about opportunity. And the decision for me with RX, and by the way, make sure that you all remember that name because you're going to be hearing a lot of that name, ARIIX.com. It's going to be huge. Mark my words on that. And why? Well, because the fundamental conversation has to do with leadership. When I found out that the top leaders of a top company jumped ship, talking about leadership, they left en masse. I said, why in the world did they leave, And so my wife and I did some immediate research. And, well, suppose you have a favorite restaurant, and you find out this is your favorite restaurant. You just love the food. You always go there once a month, And then you find out that the maitre d', the manager of the restaurant, and all the award-winning chefs quit on the same day. What do you think about that? You think the restaurant's going to be the same? Maybe it is. Maybe they got the recipes right. But frankly, you kind of wonder, don't you? And then you find out that whole team moved en masse to another place where they start their own brand new restaurant. And you say to yourself, well, wherever they're going, I'm going. And then you get the opportunity to be part of that ground floor opportunity. They say, we'll let you get some stock in it, or we'll let you, be part of it somehow. And that's what I said to myself. I took a look at it, and I said, these are the best leaders of my lifetime. I'm in. Wherever they're going, I'm in. And that's exactly what I did. A long way to answer your question, Tim. Then I found out that you were part of that team, and I said, here is the world's leading expert in training. He's willing to walk away from his, impartial status to be literally aggressively involved in this brand new company. I said to myself, well, Tim's got to have some inside knowledge that I don't have. And so when I talked to you and brainstormed with you that conversation, I said, man, if Tim's in, I'm in. And then I find other leaders. Every time I find a brand new leader who's joined, not only part in terms of building, but it just blows my mind. I just thought, I'm in.
Beautiful. So in speaking about this ground floor, do you feel as though that and then you didn't just name some uniquenesses, but what are there any other uniquenesses that you see about this, quote, ground floor? Because, there is some jargon or some phrases that say, you got to wait until the company is proven. And normally it's the older companies that say that, right, obviously. And so how do you feel as though this situation is unique?
Well, it is a ground floor opportunity, but it's not a startup. And that's a huge difference. The startup is usually mom and pop. They get together. They have a great idea for a business. They say, let's start this business. And 95% of those people are going to fail within the next 5 years. No doubt. The businesses start today. Moms and pops will be done, finished, out of business within 5 years from today. But that's not what we have here with RX. What we have is leadership. We have people who have vast experience, not only in startups on their own that they've succeeded in, but they have people who have experience taking a company from a little company to huge company. They've seen all the stages of growth. They know what to expect. They know what all the surprises are going to be, or how to handle the surprises that they haven't experienced before because they got so much experience. So it's about experience, and so that's why I felt really confident for me to leave in myself a very stable situation. And a lot of people say, wasn't that foolish to leave a very stable situation and to take a huge risk on an opportunity that may not pan out at a time of economic uncertainty like we're in right now? And yeah, I got to tell you, I certainly had to think about it. My heart was saying go, 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 but my head had to go back to look at the fundamentals, the basics. And there is one book I think everybody's probably heard of before. It's called Good to Great. It's by Jim Collins. It sold millions of copies. It is probably the most important business book of the last decade. And one of the principles in Good to Great, and when you were asking me this last night, Tim, this just popped into my head. He says, you want to be great, you want to be good to great, you have to have the right people on the bus. And he says, he says executives who ignite this transformation from good to great, they don't figure out where to drive the bus and then they get people, on the bus to take them there. He says they first get the right people on the bus and the wrong people off the bus, and then they figure out where to drive it. They said in essence, look, I don't really know where we should take this bus, but I know this much. If we get the right people on the bus, the right people in the right seats, and the wrong people off the bus, then we'll figure out how to take it to someplace great. And this is from one of the greatest business books that's ever been written. And when I really understood that, and I learned that we've got a great, unbelievable team on this bus, then I said to myself, it doesn't matter where we're going. We'll figure that out. We have some great nutritional products, no doubt about that. But we're going to be adding new products to RX that'll blow your socks off. That'll be spectacular. But first, we have to have the right management team, the right team. And Tim, you're the right person. Deanna, she's the right gal. Fred's the right president, CEO. We've got Mark is the best of the best. We've got Jeff Yates, Riley. These are awesome people. And I'm going to just include myself in that team. I'm really looking forward to the greatness that we're going to make happen in RX.
Oh, you definitely are to be a team. It is just such an honor with your vast knowledge, right? So, my background was bomb squad. So if I get around a guy that has defused, 7,000 bombs, and he's still around and he's still got all his fingers, that's a guy to hang with. If you're going to go out into a field, that's the guy you want to be hung beside, right? And so I feel the same way in terms of like where all we're going. We have, not just new products, but we're going into new product divisions and categories and various different things. Like there will be a day when real estate is not a bad thing to be in. And you've got such a step ahead in that particular area. And, so like it's a division that we just kind of got on the thinking board right now, and it's called Healthy Financials. And so, it's a great concept, and to have people like you on board, it's incredible. Let me ask you this about, we've talked about this before. How do you feel about the global expansion that we're going into?
Well, we are having some hiccups when it comes to the economy, and those hiccups are going to, as I was saying before we started on this call, Tim, it's going to be a year or 2 or 3. Who knows when our economic malaise is going to be over with? But there are parts of the world where the economies are hot. I just got back from Hong Kong and China. I visited with some of the RX leaders there. They are giddy excited about RX, and their economies are, exploding. And so what's powerful about RX is to find the places where the world is hot, and in the worlds where the places aren't hot, then you hunker down into the simple formats to build your RX business. So what's powerful about RX is what's difficult for a lot of these other companies who you've heard all these companies that are brand new and they just explode up and they hit the $1 billion mark and then they fall back down. Why do they fall back down? Well, because it was mostly hype, number one, and number two, people couldn't pay for the products. They didn't have a business that worked. So as soon as they figured out that the business wasn't going to work, it's going to be a lot harder than they thought it was going to be, then they leave in droves. They come in droves and they leave in droves, and that's what RX has anticipated that. We want to hit the $1 billion mark, and we're just barely getting started. So by making it so a person can get to free products easier, four people and your product is free, that really is going to be explosive, especially in an economy that isn't working all that great. You find anybody can find 4 people. And when you find 4 people, then your product is free. And then when it's free, then you don't have to worry about whether the product could be cheaper when you could buy down at Costco, because the cheapest product, the cheapest vitamins at Costco can never compete with the most exclusive nutritionals that are free. Just can't compete. So in a bad economy, that's the best way to get there. You get your products for free, and then if you can teach your other people to find their 4, and then to find their 4, and then find their 4, everybody ends up with this explosion of growth, even in an economy that isn't working all that well. And then when it trickles into Japan and it trickles into China and eventually Brazil and all these other exploding economies, RX is going to be huge. Period. End of story.
All right, man. I'm ready to sign up myself. I like everything that you're saying. I feel as though that you're spot on. Anytime, if you're listening to any conversations, when someone is talking about, if you're around VCs, okay, so the people who give you investment capital, venture capitalists, when you're around these guys, what they're looking for is your efficiency. They're looking for your market size. And so what do they measure that by? They look across the buying public, those who can buy, and then they say, what percentage of those can you possibly get? And so it becomes an entirely different field when you take the United States and then you say, we're going to triple the number of people in China, or we're going to, whatever country it is. And so that's what you as business people need to be thinking about is that, if you sell produce out of the back of your truck at a farm near you, then your market are those people around your area who can drive there. If you sell something that is, something that you get in a fast food chain or something like that, then it grows out a little bit more, right? So it can go nationally. And then you start thinking about all the markets that it can go into, and it is mind-boggling to think that large. Let me just ask you another question on this. And I know that the audience that we've got, some of those people are business people who have been in business, several businesses perhaps. They've got your kind of background. What were your evaluation points? In other words, if you were to put it down into bullet points and say, this is the criteria by which I evaluate a business buy or this business buy, so that those business people out there can look at what you've already hit.
I need to have something that's got a product that is consumable on a daily basis. Something has consistent consistent consumers. And if it's not a consistent consumer, then when the economy has its challenges, then people will stop consuming. So it's got to be something that's, that's residual, if you put it that way, residual consumption. That's how you get residual checks. You have to have residual consumption. You have the people who fall in love with your product. And when I was first approached by network marketing, somebody said, check this out. I was very hesitant because I was a best-selling author and a real estate expert, and I'd built lots of businesses and failed at a lot of businesses, by the way. So I knew the risks that could be involved there. And I said, at first, I said, this is not real. It's not. Nobody's really making any money at this. And then my wife joined and started making some serious money at it, and I had to take another look. And so I love the industry of network marketing. I just love it because it is a new way of doing business that is radically different than the traditional ways of doing it. So, when I would say to a traditional business person, why aren't you looking at network marketing? Let's say you could go out and launch your own vitamin business. Say you could buy a franchise with a GNC, and you could, if you love nutritional products, you can get your own franchise. It only costs you maybe $50 to $100,000. And then what are you going to do? You're going to work out how long will it be before you break even? Maybe a year. You have to spend night and day building it. You have to buy all the computers. You have to sign your name to long-term leases, and you have to manage the employees. You have to do all the hard stuff to make that business work. Even though it's a franchise, you still have to do you have to wear all these hats. And then how many customers do you have to have come through the door in order for you to be just to break even that day? At the mall, you're going to have 20, 30, 50 customers a day just to walk in the door. How many people will be coming back? The bottom line is, in order for you to really make it, you're going to have thousands and thousands and thousands of customers per year to walk through that door. Now, how many do you need in network marketing? You need consistent customers. Well, obviously you need 4 for you to get the product for free when it comes to RX. If it's done properly, 4 is the easy number. But really, for you to make some serious money, the kind of money that a person who would spend $100,000 to buy a GNC and to wear all the hats and to spend all the time working at it, you would probably need 100 customers, 100 consistent customers. Now, that would make you serious amounts of money from those 100 customers, but because those customers would be sharing products with their friends, then it would have this explosive growth that would come from those 100 customers. So all you would need to do, really maybe forever, in your lifetime, ever, is to find 100 great customers. And then let those 100 customers, well, half of them will never do anything. They'll just be consumers, or they'll quit. A third of those people, of the remaining ones, will just be, consistent customers, but 10 or 15 of your 100 initial customers are going to be racehorses. They're going to be thoroughbreds. And they're going to share with others exactly how they've fallen in love with this product and this company. And guess what? Your income is going to go through the roof. Through the roof. What happens is most people won't stick around for those 20, 30, 50, 100 customers. They quit much too quickly. And what you're there for, Tim, is to teach them how to do this business. I'm there to teach them how to hang around long enough, to believe in it long enough, to have the personal growth necessary and the mindset necessary to hang in there while you teach them what to do. I'll teach them how to think. And our goal, your goal, my goal, is to help them find their 100 customers. And then they'll make any person who owns a GNC franchise look sick by comparison. Not only in terms of the income, but the amount of time and effort that goes into it. Network marketing makes traditional business look sick by comparison. So that's my first choice. I love network marketing, And then you got to pick the right company, and then it's back to picking leadership in the right company, picking a product that's consumable, and then believing in it enough to go out there and share it with the world.
Well, I certainly appreciate that you believed in RX enough to step out there, despite the potential loss, despite whatever you had as risk. I personally want to thank you because it is a big deal, a big deal that we have you on board and what you are going to do. I think pretty much everyone who knows of me knows that I am extremely pragmatic. Coming from the bomb squad, we had to be so specific. And when I would get into this industry and I would hear things like it's not the how, it's the why. And I would sit there and I would think to myself, all right, I'm just going to share with you exactly what went through my head. I thought, what a bunch of idiots. If anybody were in the bomb squad and you walk out there and you go, I've got a good enough reason to defuse this bomb, I don't need to know how, then we would not have any bomb squad because we would all be blown up because it's all in the how-to. And I know this isn't the bomb squad, but it comes from my experience in this, right? What I'd also like to share with you about that is that I would be that guy that was zeroing in on every fine detail that it would take, and I would refine those. I'd test them until I absolutely knew they could work, and I could train other people on it. And that's why I got that I'm the trainer guy, and everybody does know it. And so normally I drag somebody in, and I'd kind of like stay there with them and make sure that they can do each step. And every time they go to miss one, I'd say, whoa, hold right there, do that. And so that works. But now, at the same time, Robert, I have to share with everybody, there's a weird thing that would happen. I would go and I would get all these phrases that you use on the telephone. I would get all these phrases that you use on your follow-up calls. I would have just lists and lists and lists of power phrases. And then I would sit there looking at the phone, thinking that it's not the why, it's the how and all that kind of stuff. But what I was missing at that particular time, when I would remember all those times that I was doing that, is that stuff that you teach, that stuff that transitions a person from a military person security mindset out into a concept and an understanding and a doingness that has to do with what your principles are. And so I couldn't be more excited about the team that we have developed here, the partnership between me and you, that we get to help all these people. And I assure you, all of you that are listening, that Mr. Allen and myself have had many conversations about that we really want, more than anything else, is just to build a model company to help people in a way that no company has ever helped their people, to provide the how and the why. And Robert, I just want to give one more opportunity. If you've got anything else that you want to share, you go ahead and do so. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap up here. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. What is your why? What do you really want to make happen through RX? RX is your vehicle. Let's get you in the car. Tim's going to teach you how to drive that car. And I'm going to teach you how to have a vision to take you where you want to go. We're going to talk about the right brain and the left brain. He'll give you the specific nitty-gritty, this is what you do, and I'll tell you how you drive yourself, how you have the ability to push yourself to accomplish what you really want to accomplish. Together, both of us will be sharing, techniques and strategies from different perspectives. So everybody you bring to RX is going to resonate with one or two of those approaches. In my experience, there are two kinds of people. There are artists and engineers. And the engineers, they want the specific nitty-gritty detail. And the artists, they're not into detail. They're just la-di-da, let's go paint some pictures. And frankly, it takes both. It takes the right brain and the left brain. And when my book, 1 Minute Millionaire, was written, that's the way we focused it, the story side and the system side. But they're both necessary. You have to have a great story. And I think we have a great story with RX. And then you have to have a great system.
And I think with Tim teaching you the strategies and techniques of making this business work, we have powerful systems, stories and systems that come together in a way that's just spectacular. But this is a new company, and we need you to come onto this company with that as an understanding, that we want you on the bus with us, but we're going to make this great together, you, me, Tim, all the other leaders. Let's make this company spectacular. At first, the things are going to be a little, mushy. Not the way you'd like it as if you were in a 5-year-old company, 10-year-old company. But I'm going to tell you what, we're going to get there, and we need you with us, and we need you to trust it, that it'll work. Products will be great, systems will be great, our stories will be great, and we're going to make this company from good to great. It's going to be huge, and we welcome you. We're excited to have you part of our team. Thank you for listening to this conversation here. We'll have more of these. Tim, I'm just so tickled pink to be working with you. You're the best of the best. And thank you for making this decision to be part of this team, because I know it's made my decision a lot easier. And thank you all.
That is awesome. Thank you, sir, for that acknowledgement. And what I'd like to do just in a wrap-up here is I want you to picture that in 1989, there was a gentleman that ran an ad in the newspaper. All right? Anybody could have answered that ad. I did. And he was intelligent enough, not selfish, but he was intelligent enough to see that I needed a little bit of a nudge. And after the millions and millions and millions and millions that I have made, do you think I hold a grudge against that nudge he gave me? Not at all. And so if I can nudge you just a little bit, it is not a selfish nudge. It is an encouragement nudge. And what it is just basically I want you to just look at it and decide in one of 3 categories that you're sitting in. I call it A, B, or C. C means no thanks, see you later, bye. And you got to understand something about this team is that we really appreciate that you don't want to do it. It's good, great, okay? Make sure you thank the person that invited you onto this call, because they could end up being just like that gentleman, Rick, that brought me into the business. Is that I will be forever indebted to Rick for nudging me into the business. And so this person was only wanting to give you an opportunity to be in at the beginning of a company where you could make your dreams come true. No guarantee, but you could. And so just thank that person, and then go about your life, and I wish you well. Or you're a B, and a B is a person who's kind of saying I may be. I want to look at the products. I want to read some more brochures. I want to do whatever it is that you feel as though that you need to do over and above what you've heard that myself along with Mr. Allen have stated here. And so if you're a B, talk to the person who invited you onto this call and ask them about the health package. All right, and so that's a product category or product group that you can try the products on. Or you're an A, and an A is absolutely. Of course, you don't see everything you need to see to know how to do it or anything like that, or something, but you see enough that's all you needed. All right, you heard Mr. Allen, and you're saying, I'm good to go. Let's do this. And so if you're an A, make sure you get back with the person who contacted you on this, and just tell them, hey, I want to know about the Gold Pack. I'm serious about this. I want to catch this thing running, because everyone, I just have to share with you is that it doesn't so much, you don't have to be on the ground floor of something. All right, you just do not. I've been in the industry a long, long time, but it's not so much when you are in as it is what you do when you are in. But if you were a person who would join a company like this in its 5th year or 10th year, and you were to work your guts out and you were able to make a good living out of it, if you're that person anyway, then you would definitely want to be in at the beginning, because the difference is substantial. Right? It is really big. And so if you're already planning on working hard at whatever you do, and you're probably already doing that now, then I would urge you to call that person back and say, I'm an A. I want to catch this thing right now. We're in pre-launch. I want this, and ask them about the Gold Pack. And with that, have a great rest of your day.